Godot is now in space. But it has been 6 months since my last playtest, and for a game, that is not a good way to do things. Because since then, I could have added the most worst, most horrible mechanics, and I wouldn't know, because I've added them for a reason. So, in this video, I am going to have some small playtesting. But first, I want to rework my weapon combination system, as right now, I feel like the current system feels a bit too basic, considering it became one of the main mechanics, with most just being basic stat upgrades and there is very little player control around them. So, what I'm going to do is make it so that each bullet in a clip can be given the modifier, so the player chooses the order of the shots similar to how you choose the order of the cards. So, I made this. When you combine your weapons, a new menu pops up and the player is able to select the bullets to replace with the new modified ones, and when they shoot, the bullet is obviously modified. And secondly, I want to rework how the player chooses their characters. Right now, I have it where before you start moving, you can choose which character you want to play as, which I think is very basic. And I already have a solution for this. In Godot, the first attempt, when you start a run, you get given 2 characters at random, and can only choose one of them. And I'm going to move this into the new version. So first of all, I just threw some cards onto the screen when you start. And then next I added the art. That was simple. How long did it take? 5 days? Makes sense. Game development always takes longer than you think. And obviously not everyone would like this change, so in the settings you can change to the boring version of the character selection, but only if you're really boring and not cool. But you can stay cool if you do that by subscribing to this channel. I'm sorry. And now, on to the moment you've all been waiting for, the playtesting. I had Rocky Mullet and Ice Cream playtest, and from it I changed a few things, but most of it was just about clarity of information given to the player. During this update, I have added new exits to the shop area, meaning that you don't have to kill the shopkeeper to leave. However, that wasn't very clear that was added, and Ice Cream said that I should add an exit sign, so I did. And another thing is that the new modifier system wasn't clear with what it did, so to fix that I added a new button to it which showed you what it did in more simpler terms. However, that is not only what I did, I also made shooting with a modifier have more impact, but after asking around, nobody even noticed that I did that. I bet you didn't see that there was a second shot in the clip that had the modifier. So, to make it better, I changed this casing to a fly because they feature a lot in the game and it will also make them more noticeable. I next made a muzzle flash last 0.1 of a second longer with some small particles. Then next I made a flash on the player's character to make it a lot more noticeable. And that is all I'm going to show off for this video. The game is making good progress, just not that much that I think is video worthy. I am also currently working with a composer, so the music in the game will actually be good and I'll be able to use some of my game's music in these videos as well. So in the next video I will hopefully be able to give you a sample of what they have made. Have a good day.